actually stole some headlines from the Super Bowl this week when he came out saying he was requesting a trade from Cleveland. 2 years left on his contract, of course, and Myles Garrett said he wants to go to a contender. He wants to go somewhere he can win a Super Bowl. Mina Kimes caught up with Garrett here yesterday in New Orleans. Take a listen.
You know, it's no secret that quarterback has been the issue in Cleveland. When you look ahead again to like potential spots, is that something that's important to you? Go joining a team where the quarterback is set and ready to compete?
Absolutely. I mean, with any playoff team or any championship team, they're going to have a quarterback, a good quarterback, and you've seen some game managers go out there with a great defense and win it all. But if you want to consistently be at the top, you got to have a really good quarterback, and that's hopefully where I'd find myself.
Really interesting stuff on the Mina Kimes show featuring Lenny. And Mina, what did you take away from your time with Garrett?
I found those comments to be quite interesting because he's made it clear he wants to play for a contender. That's what motivated this trade request. Whether or not he has the discretion to choose, Adam can address that. But it's not just a contender. When we talked about the importance of the quarterback position, he made a point of emphasizing, yeah, you get the playoffs with a good quarterback, but I'd love to play, I'm paraphrasing, for a team with a great quarterback so that it's not just 1 year in the playoffs. You're consistently there. And then I'll add, we didn't show this, I specifically asked him, does Jaden Daniels fit those parameters for you? And he replied, absolutely.
Ooh, so I love it.
What a time. What a time. Listen,
you got something up your sleeve over there. I can feel it.
Listen, Commanders is the first thing that came out of my mouth, but you also think about Detroit and how they were actually in the market to find somebody opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. And you think about Myles Garrett with that defense, especially with that defense that was riddled with injury. You potentially would have had Myles Garrett. You have a chance to win that game that you lost. Here's the other thing, too. What I heard in the interview with Mina Kimes and Lenny. He's told Cleveland, we don't have a quarterback, and I don't believe that you'll get it fixed or solved.
Yeah.
And that's why I alluded to the Deshaun Watson contract and how many things you're hamstrung by beyond the draft. And he's not going to trust in any of these rookies coming in potentially that Cleveland could get to put him in a situation to win a Super Bowl or make a deep playoff run.
Here's what I would say. I would say that today there would be 31 teams that would be really interested in trading for Myles Garrett. There's one right now that's not interested in trading Myles Garrett. That's the Cleveland Browns. And until the Cleveland Browns change their position, it becomes moot. Now, this is where Myles Garrett has come to today. Today. We are in early February. What happens a month from now when the Browns go out and add a quarterback to a team that last year did go 11-6 and did go to the playoffs last year, and they bring in, I'm just saying, you could come up with any veteran, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, whoever it may be, right?
Yeah.
And you got that guy, and you get a quarterback, and then you go to Myles Garrett and you say, hey, we want to make you the highest paid defensive player in the year. I know this is not a contract ploy. He said it's not a contract ploy. But once they have a quarterback, and once they offer to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in football, does his feelings, and does his stance change a month or two from now? And is he willing to wait it out to see the Browns move off their stance, which they haven't been willing to do?
Let me push back, Shefty. They're not going to get a quarterback good enough. He got Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow in his division.
Yeah.
He's not going to get a quarterback good enough.
And really fast, just what if
Even
they
with the
were
second
willing?
pick.
If they were willing to trade him, Adam, what would they get in return? What are you hearing?
Well, the general manager, Andrew Berry, already said he wouldn't take 2 ones for him. He wouldn't take 2 ones. And we go back to Khalil Mack, and Khalil Mack went for what way was a big package.
Yep.
Yeah.
They would want at least that.
Can I just say, that would be a mistake, I believe, if the Browns turned down, I understand that's what he said, a package of that magnitude, because this is a team that should be taking all the, they got to climb out of this Deshaun Watson mountain. They need the draft picks. This is a rebuilding team if they move in that direction.
It's crazy for me to say this. I think by Myles Garrett announcing this, he's done Cleveland a favor. Because if you trade him, we obviously know you're resetting and rebuilding, and now you can build a new base for your audience.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on what's happening there. I don't think that story is anywhere near over, to Adam's point. Coming up on NFL Live, you don't want to miss this. The last time the Chiefs and the Eagles met, the Chiefs came out on top, but Mina says this time the Philly secondary could make all the difference. have been a different team with A.J. Brown on the field. They're 15-1 this season. When he plays, they've averaged 31 points per game. In the 4 games he missed, they're 2-2 and scored just 18 points per game. Philly has averaged over 1.5 yards more per attempt when Brown plays compared to the 4 games that he's missed. So lots of Eagles fans out here, including some Jason Kelsey fans. See the jerseys, y'all. RC, what's going on down there with Dan? Tell us the impact on A.J. Brown on this offense.
Dan just got a throwing lesson for our little homeboy down here, Jake Money.
At the end of the segment, we're going to get him on TV.
Get back to him. And Jalen Hurts didn't need a throwing lesson. What he needed was A.J. Brown. As you see through the season, A.J. has won one-on-one matchups, and I expect Trent McDuffie to shadow him the same way he shadowed Nico Collins. Here, it's going to be a simple RPO. Look at Jalen Hurts' eyes as he reads through. He understands it's man-to-man, easy pitch and catch. This gives him an opportunity to touch the football early. Now, you're going to get a back shoulder go ball. This alignment, condensed split, off of the football doesn't allow Joey Porter to get a clean jam on him, but he can also expand toward the sideline, giving Jalen Hurts a ton of space to throw this football that is nowhere near 50-50, and it's an easy catch. Now, we saw this last week as well. Here it is against the Cleveland Browns, the 2nd and 11. They know right away that they got 9 players in the box, so there's no help over the top, locked up one-on-one with Greg Newsome. This is the play we watched Jalen Hurts make last week, and we need to see this as well. Look at the stutter off of the line of scrimmage. He's now stacked Greg Newsome. It's about putting the football where only A.J. Brown can get it. Good catch as he tracks the football. I think for this team to win this game, they're going to have to create some chunk plays with A.J. Brown, but it starts with getting him the easy catches.
That tape kind of reminds you just how diverse his game is off the line of scrimmage. I'd like to see Philly get him inside a little bit. The Chiefs defensively have the worst secondary in football when it comes to covering the slot. A little bit has been attached to some injury, but also McDuffie's their real lockdown guy. Go back to the AFC title game. The working of the middle of the field was a big part of the pass game for the Buffalo Bills. And I know Devontae Smith is a huge part of the Eagles offense. He kills the Chiefs defense, but I would love for them to get A.J. Brown a little bit inside, a little bit in the slot so he can work the middle of field, whether man and or zone.
And the other piece of this is the way that they pressure, if you're Kansas City, there's going to be some one-on-one matchups you can take advantage of. And you have to figure out what level that's on. Are you going to be able to attack Tranquil and Bolton at the linebacker positions? Yeah. Or can you focus on Connors, who's the guy that's normally involved in those bunches, in those stacks, trying to delegate and sort of distribute who's going to cover what when it breaks out of the stack?
That second clip you showed against Pittsburgh when they had Devontae and A.J. kind of snug to the scrimmage, line of scrimmage, and stacked. Yeah. That would be something that I would look for them to do. Now, let's look. Javar, are you ready?
All right, here we go.
All right, you America, this kid's 2. All right, we told down here they grow them differently.
Okay, so the pressure's on.
Catch first.
The pressure's on.
All right, yeah. Come on, fella.
Pressure's on.
Oh, no.
The pressure's on him. He's fired up. He got the pressure on. Look, he got the pressure on.
Yay, Jamar! Good catch.
Yeah,
nice.
Hey, that's Javar Chase.
Javar Chase.
Danny's giving you a run for your money.
The 2037 draft.
Honestly, Alabama's on line 1. Oh, wait, sorry. LSU.